the elements. So with this event too, it really takes our elders and it takes all of us in a diverse mix coming together. And I do want to recognize Kenny Desane and Maggie. You're out there somewhere.
Oh, it's cold.
Woohoo! Raise your hand. Kenny was one of the original founders in 1990 of the Energy Fair. So the fact that he came up from Mexico with his wife Maggie for this 30th anniversary is really special for us, and to have that support, because without our elders we wouldn't be here, and that we are doing this for the youth. So something magical has happened here in the past hour. And I have a few friends that I want to introduce, but what I really want to recognize is everyone really came from the four directions, and they're here now. And I have a lot of people that I have a lot of deep respect for in my life that are mentors and my elders. And so one piece it's really important to recognize is that we are on native indigenous land, and that, with the Ute and the Arapaho and the tribes that would come, that this was the bloodless valley. So it was the place to put down the conflict, put down the weapons, and to come for ceremony and come for prayer. So if we can really keep holding that, I was really honored to have my friends join. I'm going to introduce everyone, and then we have some special surprises for you. And really important this is really our big calling in of the weekend, of setting that stage that we have an opening to this container and a closing, because I think we all really want to elevate to that next level of growth and connection through our education and networking this weekend. So first I'm going to introduce, I need to put this down a little. Are my friends here. It's Wambi Luta, Red Eagle, Rich Cornelius, and his wife, Wiwachi Akpi Peju. She comes from the Star People Carrying Medicine. Anna Sophia Cornelius. So you can say hi. And they made their beautiful outfits and their ribbon dress and shirts specifically for this event to honor their tribes and with the Oneida. Okay, and to my right, we have Jinnique Medicine Bird, and she is a grandmother and a dear friend that I've met doing other ceremonial and festival work when we were at Arise, and with her husband, Wambly Mani, which is Walking Eagle, or Renee, and they are both active in hosting ceremonies. They're Buddhist lay people. Renee is a reverend with the Native American Church, and they are a lot of fun, so make sure you're interacting. One thing I do want to say is everyone here too they'll have booths set up this weekend, and there will be more time to interact and ask questions and for different readings. And then the big surprise for me, because they weren't getting back to me, all of them, and some were run late, is my grandmothers that have been my mentors. We all work with Howard Badhand, and he hosts an international Sundance for Peace that's a combination with Lakota and the Dene down on Navajo Reservation. So to have these three women come, I've got Gloria Collin, give a wave, Gloria, and Deborah Freed, and Dr. Maria Michael, or Shante Oshaka Wiyan. They're making this really hard for me tonight, I gotta tell you. I'm not gonna pretend. And Maria too is Lakota Dene and a medical intuitive and runs ceremonies and healings. And then Gloria and Deborah and I have been friends for a long time, and they've really helped me step out of Crestone to branch out and get a little more expansion and growth to bring new pieces back to the community. So I'm really honored to have this opening with so many of my dear friends. So Anna and Rich are gonna start us off, and they're both Native American Indigenous educators. And we're really honored to have them here this evening because our theme is climate solutions now for 7 generations. And Rich is a full-blood Oneida, and Anna, his wife, really works too with a lot of different Indigenous justice issues and pieces. They do a lot of coaching, advising, and healing. And they're going to be sharing the Thanksgiving address, which was the original instructions to the people about the 7 generations philosophy. So they're gonna share that with us first. We're gonna go into a 4 directions song so that we can really call in the grounding and the properties of all of the elements for our protection and connection this weekend. And then Jinakwe is gonna lead us in a very special community dance. So you're in for a treat here. So thank you again, and I'm gonna give it over to Rich and Anna. Thank you.
Segu, Gliwachiakpi Peju Nyungyats, Wagwaho Niwagita Loda, Oneonte Aga Niwaga Hunjoda. That means, my name is Wiwachi Akpi Peju, which is, she comes from the Star people carrying medicine. I am Wolf Clan, and I am from the Oneida people.
Aho Saguli, Skanagoga, Wamble Luta Niangets. Saguli, hello. Skanagoga is a phrase that we use to ask you, are you at peace? And that peace doesn't mean are we just okay? Are we calm? Our peace means do you have enough to eat? Do you have enough clothing? Do you need something to drink? You need the total being to be at peace. Skanagoga, we're asking you, what do you need? And how are you? How are you? How is your soul? Ambe Luta, my name is Red Eagle, man gets. So we're Native American educators, and when we came here last year, we were just kind of checking it out, and we saw that you're using the 7 generation philosophy, and we approached Lisa last year, a little bit. We approached Lisa last year and we said, hey, the 7 generation philosophy comes from the Haudenosaunee, from the Iroquois. So my wife's got a little bit of information, just a background of the Oneida, the Iroquois Confederacy, and then I'm going to get into the address. I think some copies of the address are passed out so you can follow along with me. We normally say it in the language, but that takes like 20 minutes to an hour, and then I would have to translate it anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and do the English version.
So we call ourselves Ungwehuaneha. Ungwehuaneha is the people. Haudenosaunee are the people of the Longhouse, and Oneonteaga are the people of the Standing Stone. Oneidas are Oneonteaga. They're better known, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy is better known as the Iroquois Confederacy, which consisted of 5 nations. It was the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca, and later they were joined by a 6th nation, the Tuscarora. These outfits that I made have some symbolism. This right here is this is called the Dustpan Wampum Belt, and it also signifies the Tree of Peace. The way that the Confederacy was established is that the 5 nations used to be warring with each other, and they buried all of their weapons under the Tree of Peace and formed a confederacy where they joined together, and they would each make decisions individually for their own nation, but together they would defend the Confederacy. And this was the basis for the United States government. Responsibility is central to Haudenosaunee philosophy. The Haudenosaunee believe that all things in creation have responsibilities, and those responsibilities go back to this Thanksgiving address, which are the original instructions to all humans. In creation, we see that struggle is necessary for growth, and our responsibilities are part of that struggle. Haudenosaunee people believe that everything has a responsibility. The trees have a responsibility, the rocks have a responsibility, the wind has a responsibility. And we too, as people, we have responsibilities. Our responsibilities are both to harvest life and steward life. There's a balance and a harmony there. In the Oneida Thanksgiving address, we're reminded to bring our minds together as one. In fact, after each piece, it is said we will bring our minds together as one, and the people respond with an acknowledgement. The idea behind this is that it fosters consensus building. So It takes time to observe the natural world and understand how it works, understand your responsibilities, and act in accordance. So that can happen fairly quickly with an individual. It takes a little bit longer within a family. It takes a little bit longer in a community. It takes longer in a nation, in the confederacy, on the planet, in creation, and then out into the spiritual world. This sets the stage for the 7-generation philosophy. 7 generations literally means 7 generations stacked on top of each other. 7 generations signifies all the generations that you could possibly know in one lifetime. They are the ones that came before you and the ones who will come after you. When you come back to consensus building, that consensus building also ties into that 7-generation philosophy because it's all about our responsibilities of stewardship to the planet. So I'm going to go ahead and let you say the opening.
So the 7-generation philosophy, also in Oneida we call it Dinagwali Hota, which is our ways. We remain grateful when we give thanks, and the Thanksgiving address has multiple faceted, because not only are we giving thanks, but we're also acknowledging our place within creation. Science has given us much in the last 10, 15 decades that it's been evolving into, but science has flaws. For example, it was said that, remember the acid rain that was going on back in the 80s, it was said that if smelting companies had reduced their emissions by 80%, that the acid rain would no longer be a problem. So after the smelting companies had reduced down to past 80%, what they didn't take into consideration was that the wetlands had encapsulated that acid. It was now leaching it back into the lake at the same rate it was before the 80% emission cut. So the point is that science isn't perfect. Science has some flaws. Nature is complex and it can't be replicated in a lab. In our way, no one owns the knowledge of the land. So no one owns the knowledge of medicines, of animals, or of the 7 generations philosophy. We do not make knowledge of, the knowledge of creation our property. We share knowledge, and it is troubling that patents are being registered for knowledge that comes from us. So the address is our thankfulness. The address is our way of giving thanks and our way of acknowledging our place in creation. Everybody has responsibilities and duties. The address is those instructions. So if you have a copy, I'm just gonna read along or read this out. And then if you wanna participate, when I say let's put our minds together, you answer me back by being so be it in our minds. So the Oneida Thanksgiving Address, these are the instructions to the people for your responsibilities and your duties in creation. The people are very strong in their beliefs and their ways. Let's put our minds together.
So be it our minds.
Our Mother Earth takes care of all of our lives. Let's put our minds together.
So be it our minds.
Grass carpets the earth. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Strawberries are good medicine and helps all of the people. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Tobacco, the head of all medicines here on earth. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
3 sisters are the leaders of all food here on earth. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Medicines here on earth are left for all Oneidas and all other Indian benefits. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Deer were left here, and they are head of all the animals and also the reason they stayed here to help the people. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Maple, they gave us for syrup, a medicine in the spring, to give thanks to all the trees. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Water, they give us strength, also a good life. Water gives us strength to live. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
The winds bring the changing of the seasons. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Birds, their songs, they use to lift our minds when we are sad. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
The thunderers wake us up here on earth. Spring, it brings the warm winds for all things to grow. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
Our grandfather, the moon, or grandmother, the moon, has charge of women's needs.
So be
Oh, let's put our minds together.
So be it in our
Our
minds.
minds.
Our eldest brother, the Son, helps us for all things to grow, whatever our foods, for our survival. He gives us light to be able to then work every day. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
The stars give us light so that we don't get lost. Also tells us when it's time to give the thanks to the winter. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
4 messengers. They give us guidance how all that became of one mind, same thinking. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
The one who made all things that we are thankful for on earth. Let's put our minds together.
So be it in our minds.
So these are the instructions to the people, the whole, I'm saying it wrong.
Haudenosaunee.
The original people. And I also hold the eagle feather. So the eagle feather means I speak truth. I can only speak truth when I'm holding this and I'm speaking to you. That's the symbolization of the feather that I'm holding. So, oh, thank you. Thank you.